Alright, imagine a man so powerful that he can draw a single noodle, one noodle, and you instantly cry. This man is Hayao Miyazaki, the grandmaster of animation, the gentle tyrant of Studio Ghibli, and a living contradiction who says, anime is a mistake, immediately before releasing another masterpiece that wins an Oscar and ruins everyone else's year. Miyazaki didn't just make movies. He forged emotional weapons. He built whimsical universes where giant forest gods, depressed witches, war machines, suit spirits, flying pigs, and environmental trauma all coexist like it's totally normal. This man wakes up, sips tea, looks at a cloud, and thinks, yes, what if a giant radish spirit fought capitalism today? Why does Miyazaki matter now? Because his films are the blueprint for modern animation, modern storytelling, modern memes, and the modern crisis of why is this cartoon making me feel feelings I've avoided for a decade? He changed cinema, he changed childhood, he changed adulthood, honestly, and he's still drawing at 83 because retirement is for morals. Let's dive into the chaotic, magical, stubborn world of Hayao Miyazaki, the man who turned imagination into a global emotional support system. Hayao Miyazaki was born in 1941 in Tokyo, which is historical code for the world is on fire in every direction. His early years were shaped by war, air raids, destruction, and displacement. This man literally watched the world collapse in real time and later said, okay, I'm gonna process this through whimsical flying machines. His father ran a company that manufactured airplane parts, which explains Miyazaki's lifelong obsession with flight. Planes in his movies? Not subtle. Every frame screams, I have a childhood trauma and a fascination with aerodynamics. Young Miyazaki was shy, anxious, and extremely drawn to drawing, which is the polite way of saying he ignored everyone to doodle 24/7. He eventually joined Toei Animation and instantly became that one coworker. Works too hard, hates everyone's shortcuts, draws too much detail, says this is terrible, but then fixes it until it's gorgeous. His rise was meteoric because, well, he was good, annoyingly good, terrifyingly good. Let me just casually redraw your entire scene over lunch good. Then he met Isao Takahata, his creative soulmate, and together they founded Studio Ghibli, aka the factory of forcing audiences to confront their emotions. Miyazaki worked during a time when animation was seen as kid stuff, cheap, disposable, produced in factories where animators lived on caffeine and despair. Think of early animation like Twitter, chaotic, unregulated, and full of questionable decisions. But Miyazaki looked at this messy landscape and said, no, we will make art. He insisted on hand-drawn frames, lush backgrounds, deep emotional arcs, complex female protagonists, anti-war commentary, environmental warnings, food animation so beautiful you want to lick the TV. He was basically running a cultural rebellion dressed up as children's entertainment. Studio Ghibli itself was like an emotional monastery. Artists drawing until 3 a.m., Miyazaki hovering behind them, whispering, again, like a strict ballet instructor. Miyazaki's heroines are iconic because they don't behave like typical animated characters. They're brave, messy, curious, stubborn, compassionate, and complex. Modern analogy? They're like if Gen Z wrote fantasy heroines, but without the irony poisoning. What he said, I create female characters who are strong because I want women to be strong. What he meant? I'm tired of boring male protagonists. Give me chaotic teenage girls who save the world with empathy. Characters like Chihiro, Nausicaa, Kiki, and Shida shaped generations of viewers who saw themselves not as damsels, but as main characters with agency. Miyazaki is anti-war in the same way the ocean is wet. It's in everything he does. World War II shaped him so deeply that almost every movie he made whispers, "War is dumb, and humans keep choosing violence, even though it ruins everything." Films like Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, and The Wind Rises expose industrial destruction, political greed, the loss of innocence, the human cost of ambition. Modern analogy? He is basically subtweeting global military powers through animation. Miyazaki movies all have one recurring moral. Nature is powerful and beautiful. Humans keep messing it up. Stop that. He gives us giant forest gods, river spirits polluted by trash, ancient animals with wisdom, ecosystems that feel alive. It's like watching a National Geographic documentary directed by a gentle wizard. Miyazaki believes animation should have ma, the Japanese concept of empty space, moments of stillness, breathing, contemplation. It's basically cinematic mindfulness. What he said, we need silence, or the audience becomes restless. What he meant, I'm going to make you contemplate your entire existence during this shot of wind blowing through grass. Okay, but we need to talk about how extra Miyazaki is. This man has retired like 4 times. Every time he announces retirement, the entire animation world cries. Me too. He walks into a field somewhere, stares at the sky, and then returns 2 years later like, I have decided to unretire because I thought of a bird. He critiques modern animation constantly. Someone shows him CG animation, and he responds like he's been personally insulted by a robot. He's famously grumpy, perfectionistic, and dramatic, but then draws the softest, most wholesome scenes of childhood imagination ever animated. Imagine Gordon Ramsay, but instead of yelling about undercooked risotto, he yells about the shading on a broomstick. Legend. Miyazaki didn't just change animation, he redefined it. Artistically, he proved animation could be high art. Critics finally stopped treating cartoons like children's table scraps. Culturally, he carved out universal themes: empathy, environmentalism, anti-war ideology, the bittersweetness of growing up, the beauty of ordinary life. Socially, his films are emotional therapy sessions disguised as fantasy adventures. Economically, Ghibli films became box office monsters in Japan. Spirited Away even dethroned Titanic. Globally, he became the ambassador of Japanese animation to the world. Miyazaki's fingerprints are everywhere. Every wholesome animated movie, every attempt at vibes over plot storytelling, every environmental fable, every anime protagonist who is shy but determined girl, every YouTube video title, I cooked the ramen from Ponyo, every meme about suit spirits, every aesthetic mood boards of cozy Japanese countryside. Creators like Pixar, Cartoon Saloon, DreamWorks, and Laika cite him as a major inspiration. And on Twitter, he's a meme icon. Anime was a mistake, a sentence he didn't even say. But the internet claims he did. And honestly, it fits. Here's the thing about Miyazaki that hits you unexpectedly. His movies don't just entertain, they repair something in you. They remind you that the world is still beautiful. Small acts of kindness matter. Growing up is painful, but necessary. Imagination is survival. Grief can be softened with wonder. Miyazaki isn't offering escapism, he's offering emotional recalibration. When life feels overwhelming, his films whisper, breathe, eat something warm, touch grass, you're still here. And honestly, in our modern doom-scrolling era, that's revolutionary. Miyazaki matters because he created a cinematic language that speaks to everyone. Introverts, dreamers, burnt-out adults, kids who feel weird and lonely, artists searching for meaning, activists, romantics, everyone who wants the world to be kinder. His work teaches that imagination isn't childish, it's essential. His characters are messy, scared, brave, flawed, and hopeful, just like us. His stories say you don't outgrow magic, you grow into it. And that's why, even decades from now, people will still be watching Suit Spirits dance and feeling something shift inside them. So, here's your challenge. Look at the world the way Miyazaki does. Not as a machine, but as a living, breathing miracle. Find beauty in the ordinary. Honor your imagination. And when everything feels overwhelming, remember that even in Miyazaki's darkest stories, wonder always wins.